all the way up. Nothing can stop this.
What? You're like, you've been all the way up since you were like 18. You were like 6, 7 then.
I was like 6, 7 when I was like
15.
No.
Oh, go back over there.
Where?
Go over right there. Now look at me.
Got it.
Oh, you like. What if you were never in any of the videos and you were always just under a hood and it was like.
You know, like a Home Improvement.
Yeah, Home
Wilson?
Improvement. Yeah, Wilson over the fence.
He's just like the fence, and you just see his eyes.
Yeah, we just hide David behind hoods all the time.
I just am like behind random stuff. I'm just like looking, like
Yeah,
watching.
all you ever see is Dave's eyes, and we just hit him from the channel. But it's too late. We've seen his knees. That's too much. I've been slacking on the Supra lately, as you could tell. So I guess the plan for today is we have all these little flapper doors. So this is kind of why I stopped. I went ahead and I painted these things with some rattle can stuff.
They don't smell as bad anymore.
I mean, they kind of got a little bit of a funk to them. We did go ahead and we did get the carpet from the airstrip attack from the guys out in Utah. So I have me a nice black OEM carpet to go in this thing. And I have been working on the truck a little bit. As you can tell, that thing looks, I mean, look at that. That looks like a friggin' truck. But before we start off there, I'd like to thank all you guys for watching my videos, because we're at almost 225,000 subscribers. And I'd also like to remind you that if you watch the video and you don't subscribe, to maybe subscribe if you kind of like them, and also hit that notification bell. It seems like recently, you know, maybe the notification like hasn't been going out to a lot of people, or you know, YouTube might not be pushing my videos out as much as I guess they used to. And maybe that's my fault because I'm not doing cool things or the things that that you want to watch. But anyhow, there is that little bell, and if you like watching what I like to make and do and stuff, I mean, I'm not a super channel, I'm not a truck channel, I'm just an automotive channel, and I work on things that I want to work on. Everything gets blamed on Dave. No, he's had this little Audi project in here ripped apart for like a week. Well, it's supposed to. Remember when it's supposed to be done in a day, but
in here for 2 or 3 days.
It was before the drift event. It was in here, I think.
No, it wasn't. It was the airstrip attack. We pushed it in.
But anyhow, he almost had the engine all the way back together, and he's like missing one O-ring.
Yeah.
So.
Because Audi, you have to buy the whole timing cover to.
So he's waiting on that. He's gonna put this thing back on it, and we're gonna push it outside, and then I'll be able to kind of squeeze this thing over here a little bit more, give me a little bit more room to work around it and get to all the stinky poopy parts and stuff like that. But here we go.
The next day.
Hi guys, so it's the next day. I got a little distracted yesterday and didn't end up getting a whole lot of stuff done, but ended up cleaning up the shop a little bit. It was kind of a mess, and that's kind of distracting in itself. Dave's over here pulling apart his RB26 intake manifold because he's gonna go have some stuff anodized and cleaned and polished and doing all that crazy stuff. So I went ahead and cleaned up this whole area and kind of dug out the 2J and swept and cleaned. Got a little table and everything all set up. So the plan is today is to pull off the head. And the reason we're doing that is I got these Brian Crower valve springs and titanium retainers. So I got these things from Real Street Performance. A little bit of an upgrade and some SuperTech valve stem cells. For some reason, it seems like all these damn 2Js, doesn't seem like the 1Js like do it, but they smoke on startup. I don't know, just valve stem seals, 2Js, whatever. 1Js, I haven't had the issue with them, but 2Js, it seems like my drift car does. I don't know, just a 2J thing, I guess. I got a bunch of parts in here, so we're gonna pull off the head, have it decked, checked, you know, grind in the valves, you know, install the springs retainers, and new stem seals. I have a full OEM gasket kit, timing belt water pump, got some new AM filters, you know, one for the drift car, one for this thing, K&N oil filter, all that stuff. I got some spark plug wires and some fuel system stuff, but the clutch, I got the word that the clutch is basically on its way. I think they're shipping it out tomorrow. So once we get the clutch and the head back, it's like I could put this engine back together and literally like bolt it in the car, because I have the mounts, I have the drive shaft, I have the whole Collins adapter kit, all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the head off of this thing tonight. I went ahead and I made a nice little pretty spot right there for that future fab manifold and that pretty Garrett turbo. And I need to basically pull off this whole side of the engine too, just to get this motor mount, or at least pieces of it. First step is getting this thing flipped over. I'm gonna need the help of David for that. Still need to get I just need to seal up the oil pan and put it on here, but I figure I might as well do that and the head, you know, when all that stuff kind of comes back at the same time. So we'll see how far I can get this over by myself. I don't think it's gonna be that far. How far do you think I can get it by myself, Dave?
Little girl arms? I don't know. Oh, Dave.
I was almost there, Dave. It's not centered. Well, I gotta go right there. Tight. Cool. Oh, wow. Alright, so diving into the front of this thing, you can see they replaced this vvti gear that looks all brand new. It's got some fresh paint on the bottom, and the timing belt looks new, the tensioner looks good, this thing looks good. It looks like they reused well, this thing looks new, but these normally always look new, and it looks like they reused this thing. But definitely has a new vvti gear, and it had a new-ish looking timing belt. I mean, this thing could be like 3 years old or 5 years old, but it probably still look like that. But it looks newish. Another tech tip is when you're pulling off these valve covers, be really, really careful with these stupid little grommets, because basically once they squish down, they like turn really, really hard, almost like ceramic. I don't know. They just get like really hard rubber, so you kind of have to like bust them loose and then twist them off. But if you just go like trying to pry on the valve cover, you're just gonna break it. It's only on these 4 studs, the ones on the middle and the front. But you know, once you get those off, then you can pull the valve covers off. Hold down the cam so you can take off the cam gears, and then we'll go ahead and start pulling probably the intake manifold off, and then we'll pull the head bolts out. Alright guys, so got the head off of the block, and everything went pretty smooth. Didn't take me a whole lot of time. So first thing tomorrow morning, I'm gonna take this thing, well not first thing, but tomorrow morning when I get around, I'm gonna go ahead and send this thing, try to take this thing to the machine shop and get it dropped off, get it decked and checked, and you know, the valves reground and all that stuff. I'm trying to figure out if I should do shimless buckets or not. You know, the only real advantage I'd see of doing that is that you just don't have this extra weight of like this little coin looking thing on top, which is like the shim. But I mean, I guess it's nice to be able to shim your buckets, and it's just like a whole process of like figuring out that. I've never done it, I've never thought about it, but it'll be nice to get these springs and retainers in there, and you know, the new valve stem seals. I kind of wanted to keep this thing simple and not really build it a whole lot. So I mean, I could have done this by myself and just put the springs and retainers in there, but I figured I'm gonna putting head studs in it anyhow. I have the brand new gasket kit. We might as well pull the head off and look at everything, which leads me to the other thing, is kind of looking in some of these cylinder walls. You see the crosshatch is really nice, and then you get around to the other side, so we get like a little bitty like moisture rusty looking spot right there on the top of that. Same one right here. I mean, you really can't feel it though. Like, you could rub your finger on it. I mean, it just feels, I mean, it feels fine. Go to number 1 here. Number 1 seems to have like the deepest part, you know, or at least the most. So I don't know. I don't know what I should do. If I mean, it's like I kind of feel like this wouldn't be an issue. The compression on this thing was around 150, which is pretty much around what most of them are that I get. I don't know. I mean, I almost just want to send it and see what it does, but almost at the same time, it's like it's already down to the bare block. Like, a set of pistons and rods, I don't think would be like insanely expensive. I honestly haven't even looked at it, but that's probably what I'll do. You know, after I get done filming this. But I don't know. I'm not a 2J expert. My motto pretty much this whole time has been keep it simple. You know, like, throw it in the car. Don't really look at it, think about it too hard, because I mean, as soon as you pop off the valve cover and you see the little bit of like, you know, it doesn't look like a brand new engine in there, I feel like a lot of people get scared. I mean, mine looks crusty and stuff in the inside of my drift car. I don't know what the cylinder walls look like. But I'm assuming, you know, a lot of these engines I think did kind of survive a flood and, you know, that type of stuff when they come shipped on a boat. So who knows what type of moisture and stuff they're exposed to. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd probably be all right, but you guys be sure to let me know what you think. If you know, if you guys have ever ran a motor like this, or if you think I should just say screw it. You know, order a set of pistons and rods and just know that that I'll have the, you know, the good base to make some power with. I pretty much want to make 800 horsepower with this thing. Probably turn it down a little bit for cruising around. You know, with this the Garrett GTX 3582 RS, this thing will support, I think, close to 1,000 horsepower. I have the 1.01 AR exhaust housing and this beautiful Future Fab manifold. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have a big old fuel system on it. Deechworks 1500cc injectors, wiring specialties harness with the ECU master. So it'll be full standalone, nice turbo, nice everything. A triple disc clutch. You know, Collins adapter kit, CD09 or JK40C like 370Z transmission. So, I mean, it's all there. I mean, other than stock pistons and rods, but I mean, I've seen people make 1,000 on these things. I don't know for how long, but they've made it on a dyno. You know, take that for what it's worth. But I know a lot of people make around 800, and they say you really don't have to do a whole lot past that, or, you know, as long as you stay underneath that. But I don't know. We got some thinking to do. Let me know what you guys think, and you know, I guess we'll go from there. I'll check some prices, and I mean, we're waiting on a couple other little things, but I really don't want to. I always thought like the JZ is just like, oh yeah, we'll just throw it in. I'll throw head studs in it, slap the turbo on it, and we'll be good. But this is honestly why I don't like taking things apart, because then you just start thinking about that stuff. We're getting close though. I mean, once I fix that whole HVAC box and throw the carpet and interior and stuff, really, like I said, I don't want to be waiting on building a motor, because that gets expensive, and you know, machine work and all that crap. and the pistons and rods themselves. I'm rambling, but thank you guys for watching. Sorry this was long or short or rambling. It was probably both. But I'll probably see you guys in like a day or so. Try to do the daily uploads, and that's kind of it's hard. But see you guys later.